And thank you for staying with us. And joining us now is the Secretary General of the Kenya Red Cross, Abbas Gulet. Abbas, good to see you again.
Thank you, Anne.
Let's start with the fact that you put out an appeal last week for about R1 billion, if I'm right, to assist those who, of course, in these drought-stricken areas. What has the response been so far?
Well, the response has been so far, we are nearing about 50 million, both local and international.
Okay.
We're hoping that this will pick up in the coming days. But I just want to say, and right from the onset, that as Kenya Red Cross, what we are doing is augmenting the government's bigger efforts. And as in every country in the world, when there are disasters of this nature or any other nature, fundamentally it's a government responsibility, but we as Red Cross or Red Crescent globally also then as auxiliary to the government by law, we would work to complement the efforts of the government. And this is what I want to also say in this country. We are very closely at the grassroots level, at provincial level, at the national level, working very closely with the government to complement their efforts. So while they have released about 3.8 billion to do this, our billion would go a long way in helping to address the needs of what, 1 million plus people.
All right, so 50 million already. You know, there's always concern whenever there's an appeal out there in terms of accountability. What can you tell Kenyans in terms of guaranteeing that every coin will be used directly to benefit those who are in need?
So with the current appeal and what we're doing in line again with the government, we would be almost 40% of this appeal would go on cash transfer. Another 40% would go on provision of seeds where possible, depending on the funding. We already started distribution of seeds in Meru County yesterday. We will be finishing that by tomorrow, hopefully. By next week, we'll be distributing seeds in Tharaka Nithi. Depending on our funding level, we want to do this in Makueni, we want to do it in Kitui, in Machakos, and other parts where we believe that the farming communities can actually grow green grams, what we have done in Kitui in November last year, and now we know they have had about 15,000 metric tons of green grams that were harvested. So, and then we will also do water, but primarily the program on cash transfer for me is the most transparent and accountable one because it is done through M-Pesa system. We register the beneficiaries with the local county government, central government, and local leadership of chiefs and administrators. Once people have been registered, at a press of a button in Nairobi, you're able to transfer that 3,000 shillings per person per month here in Nairobi. So we don't want to do food aid because food also comes with a lot of these risks that have been over the years have been highlighted in procurement of the food, in distribution of the food, in the logistics of the food, where there could be some pilfering being done. You had the minister saying in Tana River, Minister of Devolution earlier in the week, warning those involved with food distribution to be very careful because the government would not allow for any misuse or abuse for that matter. But globally today, the trend is to do cash transfers. You give people cash by giving them back their dignity. You don't want mothers queuing up for long hours with kids on their back and kids beside them standing for 6-7 hours waiting for a few kilograms of beans, maize, and oil. So when you give them cash, you give them back their dignity. They have a purchasing power. They can go and buy these commodities from the private, entrepreneur. And for me, when we talk about devolution and giving money, you are boosting the local economy, because money is being put down, as you may call it, machinani, and that's what we should be encouraging, actually.
And still on the accountability, you've talked about the 40%, and as it is an M-Pesa transaction, there is that level of, transparency. Then you've talked about another 40% in distribution of seeds, etc. If Kenyans want to track the progress of some of these efforts, how can they do that?
For the seeds, for example, we've purchased 52 metric tons of green grams earlier this week. Those green grams have started to be distributed yesterday in Meru County together with Governor Kraito and his team. I'm happy that he was able to use his contact with the central government to get 70 tons from the central government, which is what is also we are going to distribute on his behalf during these coming days. So if people want to track what we are doing, is to come to the grassroots, is to look at our documentation, because we can account for every grain or every kilo of the seed that we have bought. If it is on the procurement, again, we procure through Kenya Seed or East African Seed, are the two supply of this commodity, so one can check there. But more importantly, we would be accounting through our audited accounts on specialized, like the drought last year we accounted. Our accounts have been audited by PricewaterhouseCoopers. So all these things are there in public domain, and we upload them on our website and people can check them.
And
there.
They can see that there.
Yes.
So you've talked about some of the areas you've been able to distribute, in particular seed for, you know, growing crop. And these would be the periphery areas, right?
Yes.
To areas that are, you know, perhaps level 1 risk.
Yes.
What are the pictures that are coming out of these areas? What are you seeing? What are families going through?
So in the last 2 days, some of my teams, or some of our teams in Kenya Red Cross, we had a team that went to Kajiado, actually to go and feel and live with a family that is going through this drought and with a shortage of water and food. So we had a team in Kajiado, a team in Isiolo, and a team in Garissa. And the pictures coming from Kajiado West yesterday were just terrible because animals have started actually dying. Cows, and not even goats and sheep. And people have serious shortage of water and food. So in Isiolo, I think those messages are also coming through now. I was in Isiolo yesterday morning before I went to Meru. You know, the funny story was that I was with the governor and his CECs. And what do we see? A few minutes we were called to go and see the KWS that had caught 2 lionesses that were brought into the compound of the governor's office that had been sedated the previous night, because in the last 1 month, these lionesses have eaten or killed about 200 goats and sheep from one of these communities. And they were really worried, so they called on KWS to protect them. And it shows the severity of the drought when these wildlife are now coming into communities and attacking their domestic animals. So 200 goats and sheep is not a small number.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, so it just shows the severity, and we just need to be conscious of this.
And of course, there is the associated health risks, malnutrition, and then, you know, eventually starvation, etc. And a lot of school-going children can be affected by this. You know, it spirals onto their educational prospects.
Sure.
What's happening in that area?
So first of all, on the issue of health and nutrition, unfortunately, because of the poor quality of water, scarcity of the water itself, we've seen on the pictures recently a number of animals and human beings are using the same amount of water from the same source, and people have caught disease. Tana River and Garissa had outbreaks of cholera last week. We've seen it even in Muranga recently, but it was more related to the water being polluted. But schools, as what we hear from the Ministry of Education, they had given food for school feeding program, had been given to schools. But obviously there are challenges in that maybe it's not sufficient, or if what we hear in Baringo is going to do more with insecurity rather than lack of this food. But obviously between now and the school closing, I'm sure the situation will not calm down that easily. Even with the onset of the rains now, the perception is that things are going to be okay. But look, I mean, there has been drought for the last almost year plus. Rains had failed in 3 last season, and even this season the predictions are the rains won't be sufficient. So even when the rains come, in terms of health, for example, and we may see more outbreak of cholera because of the waterborne diseases, because the water will be contaminated. So we should be prepared for a long haul on this. Even if we were to plant and grow, the earliest harvest would be July, August. So between now and then, people need this support. If the rains won't be sufficient, we'll get a reprieve in the month of April, May, June, and July. But by August, it picks up again to dry until October, November. So I think for me, where I sit, yes, we're saying this is up to July, but we should be prepared for the long haul up to the end of the year.
Abbas Gillette, thank you for your time and for the information.